All right, let's get to the bottom of this. So it's been about 2 months or so since FC 26 came out. And when it first came out, I was very optimistic about it. I was thinking that, EA Sports is going to get their shit together. They're going to make a title that's going to actually learn from their mistakes from FC 25. And, they're going to take those mistakes that they did and obviously, change them, correct them, and make a better, much more better version and go back to the roots with FC 26. And it did start off like that. It did start off when FC 26 came out. I actually bought the Ultimate Edition. So I had like a week or 2 weeks early to access to it. And the game was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Like I was so blown away by like how much improvements that they've made with this title and the way the fluid gameplay and the players and how they're reacting to the ball, how the ball is moving, how the gameplay is moving, whatnot. Um, and then they started with their first update, and it goes downhill from there. It's now what 3, 4 updates, I believe now. And when a gaming company does this, and a game like this, where you have many people around the world playing this game, you come to the point of like, is this company taking you seriously? You as the consumer, you as the player, you as the person that waits every damn year, spends $80 to $100, $120 to buy their piece of crap that is not promising in the end. In the beginning, it's hype and all that stuff, and then they disappoint you with the patches. Now, you need to understand one thing is that in the past, I'm talking about before downloadable content was something like a DLC was more like an attachable thing to a game, but games were complete, right? Back then, in like the old days, FIFA 18, 17, 19, whatever, these were all completed titles. These were titles that the game was released and that was it. You're playing with that base. And game developers had to, obviously complete the game properly. Now it's just like half-assed, and I know a lot of gaming companies do this right now, but EA Sports, for some reason, they do it at a different level. And that's what pisses me off, right? Is that people are very passionate about this game. People want to buy this game and whatnot. And it's so pathetic, like the way that EA Games is handling it. I think that this is going to be the end of the FC franchise. I'll be honest with you. I know there are going to be people out there that are going to be buying this game. They're going to be, obviously every year they're going to be spitting out their money and whatnot. But I think FC is going to come to an end at one point. I think FC might be one of those games that's going to be a free version, like how Konami's doing it with PES right now, or maybe having like a game where it's like free, but you have to like buy players or buy packs or whatever, like in-game purchases. I feel like it's going to come to that point because the way that they're treating the game and the way that they've been treating even last year's game, it shows that they don't give a shit, right? So that's one thing that I wanted to mention, okay? Another thing I wanted to mention is I don't know why people are not talking about this, but if you guys don't know, Saudi Arabia and some like company or two firms or something and based in the United States, they did a project or they did like a kind of like a pooling of resources or whatever to buy EA games, okay? And I personally think that EA games clocked out. I think they cashed out. I personally think that they probably realized that, hey, you know what? We're not that good of a gaming company as we were years and years ago, right? And I think people are starting to see like what kind of company we are. So I think it's a good idea to cash out right now. And obviously Saudi Arabia has that money to spit out. They obviously want to do the 2034 World Cup and they probably want to use that as a good basis to promote that World Cup as well for that next project and probably even give like a gaming a hype in the Middle East. Maybe game development might start off in the Middle East or whatever. That's obviously another topic for another video. But I just feel like this entire what you may call it purchase of EA games basically means that they're admitting that we can't fix the issues in FC. We can't fix the issues in any of our games. And also, we're not going to be able to hold it on for a long period of time. People are seeing it. People are now going to other gaming companies, indie game companies, small developers that actually listen to their fans and actually build games for their fans, right? And I think that this was a way that EA Games was like, listen, let's cash out, let's leave, and let's milk as much money as we can. And I've been saying this from day one. A lot of people, I don't know what it is, people buy coins for this game, people buy packs for this game with their own money. You're wasting your money. You could literally be spending this money on another game, another title, maybe something else that you've enjoyed. And I just personally believe that. I just think that you should not be spending money at all on this game. This game is a waste of your money. And if anybody's watching this video and they're like, hey, should I buy FC26? Do not buy this game. I'm saying this straight up. I spent $120 on this game. And there's many clips that I have of me streaming. There are many times where I was supposed to be given a clear penalty. It did not give me a penalty. It gave me a free kick outside the box. Stuff like that. And I'll show that, obviously in another side clip if you guys want to check that out. But this game is literally done. I think it's the end. It's coming to the end of FC, to be honest. And I think that EA Games is going to cash out. They've already did, obviously, with that whole Saudi Arabia deal. But I think that they're going to now change towards maybe a direction of having a free version of FC, but then everybody else is going to have to download it for free, like Warzone, and buy in-game purchases or downloadable content, whatnot, to make their team better or glorious or whatever. All right, so there's something else that I want to share with you guys, okay? This is a website called steamdb.info. One of the websites out there that actually showcases how many people are actually online on a specific game. And this is proof that this game is dead. And this is proof that EA Games cashed out. EA Games is now finishing off FC. This is my personal opinion, of course, but I personally think also that people are now losing interest in FC. And this is an example of this, okay? So right now, as we speak, the peak of how many people were streaming was 100,283 people, according to this website, okay? In the last 24 hours, it was 68,951. And right now, currently, approximately 41,143. Now, I'm not sure if this is for all consoles, but this is the rate, right, what it is right now, okay? Now, if you were to do a comparison with other games, like, for example, Counter-Strike 2, which I play as well, look at the peak of that and look at this. I mean, it is a fairly significant drop, but still it's there. You know what I mean? And it's free, right? You don't need to purchase this game, and people are playing this more than this. I mean, of course, there's, in-game purchases and all that stuff you can do, whatever the case is, but there are way more people playing this than that. Recently came out, Battlefield 6, peak was 747,000. You now have 256,000, okay? Still, a lot of people are playing this game, and they made a lot of money off this game. Look at that, right? And look, the past 24 hours, 319,000 players. Okay? Now, why am I showing you this? Is because it kind of shows the peak of interest, how much interest that people have for a game, right? FC26 is already dwindling away. There are many people out there that are saying cancel, saying delete, saying yo, this game is broken, including myself. I say this obviously loud and clear, but I feel like it's not even in November yet. I'm making this video on October 27th, and already we have such a low amount of players playing. This is literally 60% decrease of players that are playing in the game from the peak, right? And then if you do last 24 hours, that's 40-30% dip already, right? So now, even if you click on all-time peak, for example, there's other games out there that are here, but look at all these other games that are there. There are some games here that are even older that even people are Apex Legends has been there for God knows how long, since the PS4 days. And more people are playing that, or approximately playing that, than freaking FC26. So basically that brings it to my point of like, this game is done and dusted, dude. Honestly, this game is done and dusted, and I feel like the next FC game, they screwed up. EA Games screwed up. They should have realized that, yo, next year Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to that. But it's just that they did not pay attention to what they were doing for the past couple of years, especially the last year. And now they're repeating the same mistakes. And I think people are now going to be fed up and they're not going to buy the next one. I think they're going to go down to the point of making the game for free, and everybody's going to be doing in-game purchases then, because they're not going to do that anymore, right? And obviously that Saudi Arabia deal that was like $50 billion, $55 billion, of course they're going to cash out. Of course they're going to cash out. Why would they not cash out? You know what I mean? Any sane company would be like, okay, if that money was given to them, they'll cash out immediately. They're making like literally $10 to $20 million a year on FC25. That's nothing, man. You know what I mean? There's like so many games out there that make so much money that even they're free, but their in-game purchases make them so much money, right? Anyways, that's what I wanted to say. I personally, on a personal level, I'm gonna be taking a step back from FC26. I think I'm gonna need to take a break. I don't want to really pay too much attention. I might do like Rush. I might do a career mode or something like that. Next year, it's literally, I'm more leaning towards the idea I'm probably not gonna buy the game for next year. But there's so many other games out there that I want to try and I want to give my attention to. So, unfortunately, this game was not meant for me to have my attention, and I'm just going to end it at that. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time. And I hope if this video helped you in some way make a decision for yourself of if you want to buy, FC, 26, you know the answer. I personally think don't waste your money. Buy Battlefield 6. Buy some other game that's worth your money and go with that. And anyways, thank you so much. If you like this content, please make sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, make sure to follow. And obviously hit that like button. I appreciate that. And let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what I said. What do you think about this whole future of the FC franchise? The Saudi Arabian purchase, investment firm that purchased EA Games and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.